Then goes Travis Kelce, T. Higgins. 2024 pick went off the boards. Sorry, I can't. These are labeled defensive players, so I can't remember what picks what. I only know my players.
3.
1-3?
I think so.
1-3. Yeah, you're right. It is 1-3 and 24. Then it goes Kirk Cousins, Drake London, Chris Olave, Saquon Barkley, TJ Hawkinson, and then
you're one pick away at this point.
I'm one pick away, and I was like, okay, I'm interested in taking some like Daniel Jones here to get my other quarterback.
This is where you wanted the D Jones.
And then after TJ Hawkinson, Daniel Jones went.
So one pick ahead of you, Daniel Jones gets selected.
So I traded back again because my guy was gone. Then it goes Dallas Goedert, DK Metcalf, Javonte Williams, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Tyler Bass, Austin Eckler.
Tyler Bass was a pick.
And that would have been
1-5 in the 23, I think, is where we're at.
Think so.
Now, I've traded back multiple times in this draft. Now, what has this done for me? It's given me 3 5th-round picks in this round. We're in the 5th round. And it's given me no 6th-round picks and 2 7th-round picks.
Nice.
And I was okay with that because I always feel like the sweet spot of a draft where there's really good value is in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round.
Yep.
So I kept trading back to move up into like the 5th area because I figured that would put me in a position to get some good quality players instead of just staying per round.
Well, and you see it every year. Guys that are somewhere 4th, 5th, 6th range jump into 1st and 2nd round picks the following year. So
Correct.
That's where you can really kind of get ahead of the curve.
You absolutely can. It gets a little dicey after that, though, too.
It does.
So you don't want to get too far, too cute and getting those 9th, 10th rounds or anything like that, because then
you're hurting.
It could feel a little icky.
Yep.
So went the 23 pick at 5-1 and Austin Eckler, and I was up at 5-3, and I really shocked up my league mates here because, again, I have Mark Andrews, 24-1-1, and Trevor Lawrence. I have no young receivers. It's really odd for me to be in the 5th round of a startup draft. I have no receivers. Very unlike how I like to build a team. Mm-hmm. And then I was up here at 5-3, and I selected Josh Jacobs. Now, this really, like, the league mates are like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't you. You say grab young receivers. Don't grab running backs that are going to their second contract.
And here he is.
But here he was. So the reason I took Josh Jacobs was I always want to have at least, if I don't grab a one young running back early, then my biggest hole in my team is going to be running back, and you can't win that way. Mm-hmm. Like if you have no running backs, you can't win. With Josh Jacobs, this is a player I've always liked from his rookie year all the way now, who's been a running back one the last 3 years, who just led the league in rushing, who's still only 25 years old.
Right.
So for how many running backs have already gone as well, like I knew, like this is like when it comes back to me, like running back was slim pickings, and there's nobody else I really love there. Did I want J.K. Dobbins to be my number one? Did I want Ramondre Stevenson to be my number one? Did I want Travis? It could have been Travis Etienne. It could have been DeAndre Swift, but I know for sure Josh Jacobs is a really good running back. Mm-hmm. And at 25 years old, if I just want to get 2 more years out of Josh Jacobs, I'm fine with that. Maybe I get 3, but I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. The fact that his reception value went up last year, I know, which is something we always believed in. I know I had a true running back one because he's done it every single year. And he's also about to either get franchise tagged to the same team that just will make him unstoppable, or is it a long-term deal? So I'm going to get some security in there as well with a 2-year guarantee. So I took Josh Jacobs, also knowing that I had 3 picks in this round. So I told myself, I was like, I got to get a running back. I have to get a receiver. And then what do I do with that 3rd pick? So I took Josh Jacobs there, very comfortable. And then I went Travis Etienne, and then I was up again. So this is where I go, okay, Devontae Adams is on the board. There's some Michael Pittman Jr. is on the board here I like. I don't have George Pickens shares. I like him. DeAndre Swift is on the board. And I told myself, because with DeAndre Swift, I was like, do I go back-to-back running backs for DeAndre Swift and Josh Jacobs and have to worry about it? I kept saying, yeah, that's fine, but I'm going to regret that down. Like, I can't, like, I told myself, no, you grab one running back early, early, and know how tempting those other running backs are, you don't bite because it's too short of a window. So I was like, no, I got Josh Jacobs. That's the problem of not taking DeAndre Swift. So what I did was take 2024 1-4.
Woo!
So
what do you have now? What as far as draft capital?
I have 1-1 in 24 and 1-4.
Nice.
So my thought process here was, and actually I was talking to Gary about this as well when I was about the clock. I was like, okay, yes, it's next year 1-4. Yes, Devontae Adams out there, but where would Devontae Adams be next year when he's 30? Where would the running backs are all a risk. I was like, again, 1-4 doesn't depreciate, accelerates. So at 1-4,
pedal to the metal,
Accelerate.
Once
Doesn't
the rookie
depreciate
draft
or
is over
appreciate.
and
It
they're
just
gone,
accelerates.
It accelerates. So I was sitting there at 1-4. I was like, okay, I got Caleb Williams. And I was like, man, I was thinking about this class again. I was like, I have Mark Andrews. I could for sure then, I got 100% either get that running back at Trevion Henderson. I can get Brock Bowers.
Oh, Bowers.
I can get possibly Drake May, which probably won't be there. But any of those guys there, there'll be somebody there that I want to fill
Or Marvin
out
Harrison.
need.
One of those guys is for sure to be there.
For sure to be there, or somebody else amazing that's risen up the board.
Right.
Or I told myself, if I play my cards right and I get enough draft capital, I can move up from 1-4 to 1-3 or 1-2 and get the guy I want. So I told myself at 1-4, it puts me in a lot of positions. If I could back that up with more draft capital, there might be a way to put myself in position, even though I'm just moving up a couple spots, to still get Marvin Harrison Jr. or my third quarterback. Right. Or I can sit pretty and get my running back that I want, my second running back that I was going to take there. I can get Brock Bowers there, or however it plays out. So I knew at 1-4, and by the time we get to next year's draft class, next year's 1-4 will be drastically more valuable than this year's 1-4 because of the talent that will be there. So I couldn't pass that up, and I didn't want to risk it not being here at my other pick. So I just went and took 1-4.
Okay, I like it, man.
So
for the record,
so I have 1-4 there. Then it goes where I'm sorry, I lost my place here. So then it goes
Pat Freiermuth,
Michael
Pittman Jr., and then you're up again.
Then I'm on the clock here again.
Yep.
So I knew I was taking a receiver here, and I didn't know who I wanted to go
Got
with.
sniped with Michael Pittman, right? That would have been a nice little pick, I think.
I wasn't.
As your guy.
I would have taken Michael Pittman.
Yep.
That's been my guy there. But again, I got sniped. So it left me looking at. I honestly was looking at Chris Godwin, Christian Watson, George Pickens, and Deebo Samuel.
Right.
Who I was looking at there.
I think we had conversations about this one as well, and you had a couple of other guys too that you were kind of tossing around.
DeAndre Swift was still kind of a possibility there, but
Right.
I was like, again, I can't. I was like, I mean, I could trade DeAndre Swift. I was like, but if anything goes wrong at all from here until August with DeAndre, my team's set back a little bit.
I mean, McLaurin was still on the board. Was DJ Moore off the board?
Still on the board.
DJ Moore's still on the board.
He was still on the board.
Still on the board. I contemplated DJ Moore, but the highest upside receiver was Deebo Samuel.
Totally.
That was my guy. So it's my highest upside guy. Terry McLaurin and Deebo are pretty much the same age, so that was a no-brainer there. And then I like George Pickens and Christian Watson, but then I was like, then I'm going really young, and I wanted to try and see if I could build a team again that could somewhat compete this year. I wanted to see if I could toe the line. That was my thought process. Can I toe the line here and build a team that could compete now, and maybe it wins, maybe it doesn't when it gets into playoffs, with still having good draft capital, right? Because I've already got the 1-1 and 1-4. So I took Deebo Samuel. And
that was who I suggested as well. I mean, like we kind of talked that one out, and so I agree with that. And you came back and were like, none of these guys feel like rock solid. I'm like, that's why they're still on the board right now. Like everyone's going to kind of feel like that right now. There's a ton of guys. All the guys that you just mentioned have upside to be a wide receiver 1 or like a high end wide receiver 2 type of guy.
I mean, Debo's done it.
Right, absolutely. But there's going to be question marks, and that's why they're still out there right now.
And with Debo, I was like, at worst case, I'm getting a wide receiver 2. And that's a championship caliber player.
Right.
And he's only 27, so I still have a couple more years of Debo as well. So if I take him now, I still have the youth coming in behind him. So after Debo, I won't have a pick in the entire 6th round, but to fill out this round, it went a 2023 pick here, then DeAndre Swift, then George Kittle, Najee Harris, George Pickens, Christian Watson, Nick Chubb, Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin, 2023 pick, 1st round pick, Jerry Jeudy, Russell Wilson. Then it went DJ Moore and Jameson Williams because I was a little sad because I was dead set on DJ Moore coming back to me, and that was my selection. It did not. So that finished out the 6th round with DJ Moore and Jameson Williams.